Here we go. We're back.
Guys.
Time to look into week 15.
Yes.
Dom, how
got
we
a fun
feeling?
one. I mean, I feel nervous going into week 15. Coming out of week 14, I feel good. Going into week 15, I feel nervous.
Fair enough.
Steelers, for those of you who don't know, are about to play 3 games in a 10-day stretch from Sunday to Monday. It's not. I mean, you're in the same boat as me, but yours isn't a gauntlet like ours is. So
No.
no,
No, we
like
got the easier stretch on
you
this
don't
one.
play the two of the highest power offenses and then the
I mean, the
Chiefs.
next 3 for the Steelers are just brutal.
It's awful. No, but also at this point, nobody would have guessed that they were 10-3. So whatever, I'll take it.
With that
Yeah,
being said, I did miss this on the last one there. I did want to get very angry about this because I'm still very angry about this. I just need just a couple minutes here. So,
I'll give you 2 minutes starting now.
fair enough. All right, I can live with that. Representative from the state of Ohio, Josh Williams, put out on Twitter with the video from the Ohio State-Michigan game, I will point out. Quote, I am proud to introduce the OHIO Sportsmanship Act to make flag planting at midfield a felony in the state of Ohio. Behavior that incites violent brawls and puts our law enforcement officers in danger has no place on the football field. Fine. My rebuttal to that is, if you don't want someone to plant their flag on your logo, win the damn game. Play better.
Yeah.
If you don't want it to happen, and all the rivalry games, yeah, there were fights all over college football or championship week or rivalry weekend. You don't want somebody to plant their flag, their trident, anything, stomp on the logo after they beat you. Don't let them win the game.
Yeah.
Play better.
Yeah, 100%.
And I fault nobody on Ohio State for fighting back in that instance, and I don't fault any of the players.
Yeah, they still.
Back. Yeah, you have to step up and do something on that. But at the same time, win the game if you don't want it to happen.
I don't think it's necessarily in place yet. I think he's just bringing about the idea to take it to state legislature. I could be wrong. It could already be passed and everything could be set. But again, at this moment, I think it's just his plan.
Again, I think
with it.
Regardless of that, also just a bitch move. Like, we're going to do it in the state of Ohio because we've lost 4 straight to Michigan. Come on, play better.
Yeah, I mean, especially
play better, win those games, take care of your business. You're supposed to be the better team.
Michigan, this is the year to beat Michigan. That's really
good. And you couldn't do it again.
And with that concludes our 2-minute spiel. Let's continue.
That was it. All right, that's all I wanted to do. That's all I needed. I just wanted to be angry about that.
Speaking of rivalry, can you say it? I can't say
rivalry.
I can't say it right now. My mouth doesn't work.
Please don't stroke out on me.
I'm gonna. We got a couple of random rivalries. Still struggling this week in the NFL, starting tomorrow night with Rams-Niners. You could almost argue this game could be for the division if you really wanted to play that game. No, I'm talking out of my ass right now because
I don't know where you're going with that.
We just did a 10-minute spiel about Rams-Seahawks, not Rams-Niners, and I am, like you said, stroking out right now.
You look great. I can tell you that. Hey.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I've heard that a couple of times. Yeah, Rams-Niners. Rams desperately need to keep winning, and the Niners are battling to even keep playoff hopes alive at this point, which I think with the loss here kind of knocks that wide away from them.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is kind of
just looking at
not a must-win for the Rams, but also kind of a can't-lose.
They definitely cannot lose. But I guess if you're going to lose one, this is the one because...
Yeah, because like the Seahawks could lose this weekend too. Like you're playing that game a little bit.
You want to win. This is a want-to-win game.
Yes.
Because you're also kind of projecting Sunday, hey, Seahawks are playing a tough matchup against the Packers. If they lose that game, then bang, we're in first place.
Exactly. If Rams win tomorrow night and Seahawks lose, Rams are in complete control of that division.
100%, and that's what they're looking for. I like the Rams in this game a lot. I mean, Niners are beat up, dude. Yes,
I mean they played great against the Bears.
They played great against the Bears.
Insane.
I think just about almost any team can play great against the Bears at this point. I mean,
they're checked out.
The defense is gone. The offense can't get 2 drives in a row going. It's ugly.
They can't get 2. If they move the chains once, they can't get the second. The second set of downs together. They get consecutive first downs is tough at this point for them. Yeah, it's
just about anything.
It's brutal what's going on in Chicago, but
it's as advertised, and the fact that they're holding on to dear life for Ryan Poles to stay is crazy to me. Crazy to me.
They have so many other issues that Ryan Poles, I don't think, is the biggest one. It's the Kevin Warren situation more than anything.
Ryan Poles has also made some boneheaded signings and trades that I don't necessarily think warrant his need to stay with the team. Whatever, you do whatever you want.
I look at some of those as, like, specifically the Claypool trade as, like...
It was terrible.
You're in a position... No, obviously it didn't work out, but, like, get the move at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, that one at least made sense. It was just
made
sense.
Let's
just try to get
the price
an available playmaker in and try to help Justin Fields a little bit.
If it wasn't going to be the Bears, it was going to be the Packers, who are also trying to give up a second for Claypool. So it was one or the other. Claypool was going for a second. They just gave up their second round pick.
Yes.
Instead of the Ravens' second round pick, which was their mistake.
Yeah, no, that was a tough one. But, like, again, like, I at least understood the move. And, like, a lot of what he's done, like, you at least get it, I think. And I think it's more Kevin Warren pulling some of the strings there, and that whole situation is just weird. So that's why I'm concerned about them hiring the right person.
Yeah.
Going into next year. But,
so
that's all.
Just a little bit of an update. I was wrong on Bill Belichick's numbers. It is not 3 years. It is a 5-year contract.
For 30?
I don't know what the amount is, but it's a 5-year contract.
Gross.
Because Schefter, that 5-year deal.
So, with all of that, so Nick Wright was the first one I heard talk about it. And I feel like he didn't even, like, really put 2 and 2 together on it. But, like, with him and NFL jobs, it's like you're openly and publicly dating a 24-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And Belichick is 72. Like, it is wildly public now. Like,
wow. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Instagram official, everything like that. Which doesn't look great.
No, it's strange.
And he went on a very good long tangent about it, but
yeah,
how is he getting a college job with that dynamic? You know what I mean?
They're not looking at that dynamic. They're looking at his job to be a head coach. That's what they're focused on.
No, I understand that, but when he's going to be 6 months in and potentially a scandal about him banging one of the cheerleaders,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I feel like it's more of an issue, like more of a red flag for a college job than it is for an NFL job.
Obviously, yeah.
Like, obviously the optics are bad in general. Like, trying to be an NFL coach, probably why some people have been turned off. But, like, I feel like as an athletic director at a university, how do you look at that and go?
Because, again, you're looking at
the name. Guy.
You're not looking at everything else. You're looking at what he's done in the NFL, what he's even done when he coached in college. You're looking at that. You're not looking at anything else.
No, I understand that, but, like, you could make the same argument for the NFL, but, like, nobody wanted him there either.
The NFL is way different because it's changing how head coaching is in the NFL. You're not looking at.
I mean, I get that part too, but even still, like, you just look at the name and you go, yeah, no, he could fix so much of it. I don't know. All of that's just weird to me. It's very strange.
It's very strange. I think Bill should probably just stop coaching overall. I mean, we'll see how he does at UNC.
Yeah, I think you got to make a choice here, Bill. Like,
I'm happy. I think part of the optics is with UNC, he has power to bring in who he wants, and that's what he wanted to do with the NFL. He wanted to basically play GM, and he did. And now in college, he can play recruit. He can do that. He can go and
I'm not discrediting Bill Belichick and football knowledge and what he wants to do there, because he even talks about it on McAfee's show about, like, what he's like, it's going to be a pipeline for players with the ability, and outside of that, it's like we're teaching structure, and it said all the right things, and I believe that. I think he would do I do think he would do a good job to an extent. It's just everything else. It's like
Yeah.
It just feels weird.
Yeah, it'll be weird, period. There's really not much else to it. All right.
Right. Like, are you gonna like is USC gonna bring Leo DiCaprio to like run their film department?
That's way different. Let's get off of this. Let's get
Like,
off.
I'm just saying.
No,
like,
no,
I mean,
we're getting off of
it's
this.
not. Where I mean, it's
It's
not
way
that different.
Let's get back to the cookies, Grandma. All right. So we were talking about the Rams Niners implications there. Rams need to win, and I think they're gonna. They have a better offense. They're not banged up. They're healthy. Niners are, and they've been a little bit more inconsistent than the Rams. Wow, we went from that to the Bears to okay. Let's get on to the Sunday games here. Not the games we're gonna. Is there anything outside of the games that we are about to talk about that you mentioned?
There's 2 games in the 1:00 slate. Or no, sorry, one in the 1:00 slate, one of the other 4:00 games that are mildly intriguing. So we got Dolphins Texans.
Yes.
Dolphins still trying to keep any semblance of playoff hopes alive here.
Yes.
And I also just want to see what the Texans look like out of.
Yeah, I think so. There is a lot of underdogs I surprisingly like this week. I like the Dolphins in that matchup. They're 3-point underdogs, but Texans are playing at home, so basically it's a push. It's a coin flip game if you really want to go there.
I looked at it and just kind of went, that's a complete stay away from me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I like Miami just because they are showing me that they're playing a lot better football as of late. The Texans are playing a lot more inconsistent football, and I see that. And plus, they have to focus on Kansas City. No, they have to focus on Kansas City next week. So that is your big game at the end of the year. Because after the Miami, they play Kansas City, and then they play Baltimore on Christmas.
That's fair. I didn't really think about that.
Mean, Houston's focused on those 2 games more than they are on Miami.
I know, but I also feel like just because of how like clunky they've looked, they're very desperate just to win a game here.
Yeah, they definitely are, and they might win outright, beat them by 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't be shocked, but I also wouldn't be shocked if Miami beats them by 10 points. That's what I'm saying. That game can really go any way. I think Miami's just going to show that they're the more hot team right now. That's all.
No, I mean, I agree with that. That's why I'm just like, I don't really know what to do with that game.
Yeah, there's nothing really to do.
But the only important thing in that is just like really just, is Miami going to keep playoff hopes alive? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think they kind of do at the end of the day. I think the biggest important thing for Houston right now is you have a fully healthy Nico Collins. That's it. And how does that change the dynamic of your offense in this game? Because you don't have bigs, you have Nico. Because you haven't been able
I mean, if Mixon can run the ball, that's the other part of it too, is it's like, I'm not buying Miami's defense, and I think that the matchup-wise, I think Houston can take care of business there.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't been able to really get it going otherwise.
Right. This could be a nice little tune-up for them going into the Kansas City game.
Yeah, because they've been struggling a little bit. That's what you're hoping for. It's there because you need it. Because if you don't, it's ugly.
It gets real weird.
You are lucky that your division is not good. I'll say that. All right, let's go
on the next. The other one I wanted to just touch on was Colts Broncos.
Yes,
because like we just said with that, with the Texans lose that game. Colts end up beating the Broncos. Colts are a game back.
One game back, which is crazy to think about.
And did they split?
No.
Have they played twice?
They played twice. Indy lost both by like 3 points each game by a field goal. It was very close.
Oh, yeah, they got them week 1 and
week 1 they lost by 2, and then
week whatever they lost in Houston. Yeah,
they lost by
basically. So they're still more comfortable.
Yeah, but they've only lost by
with the Texans' upcoming schedule, that could get real weird for them.
It can get real watery real fast. And looking at Indy's schedule, they
get after the Broncos, you get the Titans. Yeah. So like it's there.
Different. There's a small conversation to have, and we're gonna have it next week, not right now. Because honestly, I like Denver in that game. They're at home. Going to Mile High Stadium is not fun. And Anthony Richardson, I love him, but you're also going up against a good secondary. You're going up against a good defense. So I'm curious to see how you look in that game. He's looked a lot better, but how do you progress here? So that's really the big question.
Yeah, those are the two random games.
I do want to just say one thing. If the Chiefs lose this week to the Browns, don't color me surprised.
I thought about that one.
Don't color me surprised.
For the upset pick this week. I really thought about that.
If I didn't see the other gimme of mine, I was taking it 100%.
Fair enough. I really thought about that. I just know that Jameis is going to throw one too many picks in that game.
But he's also going to throw 3 touchdowns.
So yeah, no, I understand. That's what I'm saying. He's going to throw one too many picks. The game's going to be close. It's going to come down to a field goal. It's going to be whatever. But like Jameis is going to throw a pick at some point, a really untimely one that's going to give that game away.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm just saying, if they win it, or if it's really really that close,
yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
We touch on Raiders Falcons in the sense of if the Falcons find a way to lose this game, they're dead to me, and Kirko Chains shouldn't be starting for them ever again.
100%.
You cut your ties at that point. You eat the dead money, and you let the kid come out and play. Well, not even kid, the young adult in Michael Penix.
You let the guy who's 2 years younger than us play.
I thought you were going to say 2 years younger than Kirk.
Basically. All right, let's get into our picks on the week, just because we're talking about all the big games there.
Yeah. All right. So Steelers Eagles.
No. I want to start with let's because those are the big games of the week. Let's start with your upset pick of the week. Let's start there.
You want to do upset picks?
Yeah, because the other games actually I want to talk about and not run through.
All right, fair enough. So my upset pick of the week. I don't know what yours is. I don't know what your layup was. Oh, it must have been the Dolphins there.
No?
All right, fair enough. My upset pick is Titans over the Bengals.
Okay. That's interesting.
I
5 point spread? You really missed this game, and that's hilarious to me. Yeah, it's 5 points.
That's my upset one.
Let me hear a little insight here then.
Yeah, no, I think again, Titans defensive front can cause some problems for Burrow. That defense is real.
Yeah. I mean,
Pollard has been running the ball pretty well, and I think that this one really just comes down to I think the Bengals defense is
okay. Yeah, they're definitely bad enough. But I thought I had that same argument last week with Dallas.
That's fair. I just think
it went that way. It's just Cincinnati got lucky at the end of the game. That's kind of what was the difference there.
Right. I think outside of Levis, the Titans are a more buttoned up team than the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair.
Like the blocked punt that turned into the muff punt.
Yeah.
I don't think happens with the Titans. Unless it's Will Levis out there, but like...
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that one.
All right. My upset pick of the week is Rams-Niners going with the Rams. Because they're 3-point... Yeah, they're 3-point underdogs. I went with the layup, which I can't believe you didn't take.
That's true. No, because I did think about that one being in which 4, and I just never went back to it.
Yeah, it's the easiest pick of the week for me.
I mean, I got that in my picks. I can tell you that. There's a little, look ahead there. It's in my picks. It's my favorite bet of the week. It's the first one I wrote down. I saw that and I was like, obviously, I'm hammering that.
I can't. Yeah. So the fact that you missed it here is kind of hilarious to me. But I'm glad that we do. It makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the hard picks of the week. Who do you want to start with?
You want to start with your stressful game?
Sure. We'll start with my stressful game. I'll be at a bar on Sunday watching this.
Nice.
Put my table.
As you should be.
So I did go with the Steelers. History that there is something's gonna break this time. The Steelers have not won in Philadelphia since 1965. So you're talking JFK was alive. However, Russell Wilson has never lost to the Eagles. He's never lost in Philadelphia. What's gonna bust the dam? I have some other things that are going in Pittsburgh's favor as well. So you're kind of looking at it like, who do I trust more? Because there's two sides of the coin. You tend to always go with history because history and the Steelers always happens. This is unprecedented territory because your quarterback has never lost to a team. You have never won in this place for 6 decades at this point. 59 years. What's breaking? And that's kind of what you're like looking at. So I think it breaks finally for the Steelers, and that Russ does prevail, and our defense does kind of put the Philly in a bind. Just enough to really make a difference, because our pass rush, I think, is going to get after Hurts and kind of make him run a little bit, pressure him a little bit more. And as long as, like you said, we can lock up A.J. Brown, I think there's going to be a conversation to be had. The big point is stopping Saquon. Luckily, we have a top 5 run defense. Landon Roberts has played unbelievable for us in that aspect, and he made a huge play last week. He's made a huge play almost every week in the run game. That has really kind of turned the tables for the Steelers. So I see that kind of happening. I'm not saying we're going to hold Saquon to 48 rushing yards, but we're going to make it. It's going to be a difference. I think it's going to be a close game. We're talking within a touchdown. I just think coin happens to fall Pittsburgh's way finally.
All right. If you had to guess where I'm at on this one,
I think you're probably on the Pittsburgh side of the coin here.
I am very much so, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
For all the things that you just said, and I didn't have the history points on that, or
Yes.
really, this one also kind of came down to just vibes for me.
It's just vibes.
This is a vibe pick.
I mean, if you're going to talk about vibes, vibes in Pittsburgh are much higher than the vibes in Philly right now.
That's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that if they lock down A.J. Brown and Tomlin is petty as a head coach and he understands this as well, they might sell out to keep A.J. Brown from getting touches early in that game. And by midway through the second quarter, he could be losing his mind on the side.
Okay.
Because I feel like Eagles might cave a little bit to A.J. Brown because it did go public and try to make him happy. And if they can't do that, they might try to force the ball to him and can't get it to him, or he's just not getting touches in any fashion there, and it could get really weird on the sidelines there. And then you just have to wait out the storm and hope you have enough of a lead that when the dam breaks eventually with Saquon running the ball in the fourth quarter, that you have a 10-point lead, a 10-point cushion that you can weather some of that. And I think that's kind of what I see happening. Okay. Is that it's going to be like a 10-point game kind of thing where it's like Philly's in it. They start going to Saquon in the fourth, and he starts just kind of wearing down that Pittsburgh defense and moves the ball a little bit. But the gap is just going to be just enough that Pittsburgh holds on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, obviously. I had a little bit tougher of a time with it because my biggest worry is the Steelers are more focused on the 2 games that matter more, which is Baltimore and Kansas City, because if Steelers beat Baltimore, they win the NFC. I would
say that, but like Tomlin is so good at getting his guys ready.
He's very good at focusing week to week instead of over the span of the week. And they are very good at doing that, so I agree. But
as long as it's not like the Raiders, like going to play the Raiders.
In Vegas,
Vegas or Oakland, like, when that happens, then it's just like all bets are off. Who fucking knows what's going on? I bet away. I bet away all the time. All right, what you want to go with you on the Steelers today? Let's go Bills Lions.
All right, you go first. I'm still debating this pick.
Still debating. So I've faded the Lions the last couple of weeks in these just because of the injuries there. I do like the Lions this week.
Okay, that is who I have. I'm gonna stick with it. I think it's where I'm lying.
I'm with you on that for sure.
I'm sticking with my gut picks, and my gut picks have not done me wrong too much. It's the picks that I like a little bit more.
Because this one is the one that I look at and I go, the offense isn't gonna the offense is gonna make up for any defensive stuff, and also Josh Allen coming off of the high. Of 6 total touchdowns. It hasn't been as pronounced this year, but like the up and down of Josh Allen has been a real thing. He's going to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
He's going to. It's just the reality of it, and I can see it happening now. this is the game where he actually struggles.
I don't necessarily think it's a game. I think he's going to.
I'm just saying, in terms of narrative thing, this is not necessarily like specifically towards this game, but like this could be the game that he really struggles because they're not good against teams with winning records this year or legitimate teams.
Oh, so I'm not going to say then that's Josh Allen. That's his coach.
I'm not saying that's specific to Josh Allen. I'm just saying like, the Bills in general.
Josh Allen struggles. You said that. That's exactly what you said.
I know. I two thoughts going on in my head, Dominic. Let me finish, but closer to like how he looked against the Ravens.
Okay.
It was two thoughts coming together on one.
Okay.
To lead to the final point of that happens, coupled with the Lions offense looking good, Jared Goff playing well again, and then we have a new favorite for MVP.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you. I think the Lions do win this game. I think but it's going to be another back and forth shootout type. It's not going to be like Lions blow them away. I think because the Lions were in a shootout last week, Bills were in a shootout last week. I think we just see it again. Or it's a low scoring game. It's one or the two, but it's close regardless. It's either 17-14 Lions or 37-35 Lions. It's one of those two types of games. But
I don't think it's a full on blowout, but like if this final was like 24-10.
I'd be a little surprised.
24-14. Like if the Lions end up winning by like 10, I'm not shocked by that.
I'd be a little surprised for a few reasons. Just because the way Josh Allen has been playing as of late doesn't really elicit that. And looking.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like I think it's just history tells me about Josh Allen. He's gonna have a dip at some point, and he just had his best game of the year.
He's had the best game of his career. It's not year; it's his career.
Okay, well, like let's go one step further and say it's his career. Like
no matter what, you're going to come down from that a little bit. In that, also other side of that, you're also going to expect the offense to step up in different ways. You're going to get James Cook more involved because you have to.
I also don't like the travel part of this for Buffalo.
You're traveling again. It's not ideal.
Yeah, you go to LA, you come back home, and then you're going to Detroit.
So last time they played in Detroit, they won. But it wasn't against the Lions. It was against Pittsburgh. So you're looking at that kind of scheme of we know what the Dome looks like. We played here last year. We got the job done. I don't think it's the same. Obviously, it's not the same narrative team, but at least you have a semi-recent look in the stadium. But yeah, I don't like back-to-back weeks on the road for them.
And not short travel, really, either.
No, yeah, because you're going
shorter. Buffalo to Detroit isn't as bad, but like coupled with
you're
the cross country trip.
Yeah, you're at least staying in the same time zone. I like them a lot better if they didn't go. I like them actually if they didn't go to LA last week. I like them in this game.
Yes, that's the other part. That's where I was going with that. It's just like the back-to-back travel.
Yeah. But yeah, one positive is you're in the same time zone. You can sleep in your home until Friday night this week. You don't have to leave Thursday morning to get into LAX at 8 p.m. or whenever, and then start practice the following day. You don't need to do all of that. So we're on the same page here. I do just like the Lions a little bit more.
The Packers Seahawks.
I have the Packers. Oh. Okay.
I thought we were going to have at least two games different here. I thought you were going to be on the Bills side, to be honest with you.
No, it was a tight one, but I leaned Lions just for that, just because I'm going with my gut, not changing. But
fair enough.
I think Packers. I thought about Seahawks for a minute, but I think the Packers offense is going to be a little bit too much. I think the Seahawks are due for one of those down games that they have.
That's my biggest part of this is they've won 4 straight and they're due for a down Geno.
And not even a down Geno, just a down game overall. It's their team has overproduced in the last few games, and they haven't done that all year. Especially Sunday Night Lights, you're at home. Your entire season is riding on this right now. I just don't think so. Like you lost those 2 games going into the bye, Bills, Rams. You got that week off, and you won 4 straight, but it was a 3-point win against the Niners, a 10-point win against the Cardinals and a 5-point win against the Jets, and you should not have beat the Jets, and you basically shouldn't have beat the Niners. The only game you really won was against the Cardinals last week, and previous to that, like, you lost to the Lions, the Giants, the Niners, and you beat the Falcons by a ton. So I think just playing better teams, they struggle. So, like, looking at it, you struggled against the Rams, you struggled against the Bills. You already lost one to the Niners when they were semi-healthy. You lost to the Giants, and you lost to the Lions. It wasn't that close. So your best win of the season, if you want to argue, is against the Broncos. So other than that, you've beaten the Falcons, the Dolphins, the Dolphins when they don't have to, the Patriots in overtime, and then the Niners again. Well, the Niners for the first time, and the Cardinals twice, and the Jets. So your best win on the season is against the Broncos. So against winning teams with winning records, you do not play well. That's where the difference is.
Yeah.
So in that realm, that's why I also think next week against the Vikings, you're going to have a similar conversation. They are going to struggle. But that's a conversation for next week that I'm sure we'll have.
Fair enough. All right. And then, no, I mean, like, I'm with you on that one, too. Pretty much everything that you just said there. Like, I think the Seahawks are due for the loss, and the Packers shifting a little bit more to the power run kind of thing with Jacobs. Yeah. I don't have a lot on it, but I like the Packers in this spot.
I mean, I think part of it is just like looking at their season as a whole, how they've played against those better teams. They haven't done well. You lose more often than you win. So yeah. All right, last game here, Bucks Chargers. Who do you got?
I got the Chargers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this is where we differ. I have the Bucks.
Yeah, this is the one that I knew we were going to be different. I think the Chargers just might be able to take the air out of the ball here.
Sure. I mean, you can
enough. I think enough to limit any sort of Baker magic at this point.
Okay.
I think that's kind of where it is with me. Coupled with McConkey should be back this week, and when he plays, the Chargers offense looks really good.
Yeah,
without Dobbins. So I feel very comfortable about this one.
Okay, I obviously don't fully agree with you. I know for sure McConkey's playing, and I know for sure their offense is going to be pretty flawless, yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers. However, give me Baker and the way he's playing. Give me what that offense has looked like. Regardless of who's at running back, it doesn't matter. Mm. They look like a very strong offensive team. It's more consistent than the Chargers do. Give me that. So if I'm going to lean on something, that's what I'm leaning on.
That's fair. I don't hate it. I think
that's why it's up here. It's too.
Yeah, this one's really a go either way kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think either team runs away. I don't think either team runs away with these games. I don't think any of these games are runaways. I think they're all very close.
Again, I think the only one that's like could be. I think the Lions-Bills game has the best chance to be a runaway.
See, I think the Packers-Seahawks has the best chance to be. If I'm being honest, Packers played again last week. They're looking just to blow somebody out. It's kind of just like you're wrong, right place, wrong time. Yeah. All right,
I got you. So,
all right, so that's the game that's going to make or break our week here. I mean, other than our different picks.
Our upset picks.
Yeah, alrighty.
Yeah, it looks like and we're tied right now too. We forgot to mention that we're tied at 10 points right now. Yeah, and did either of us get an upset pick? Oh no. I got one.
Cowboys were 5.5. So
I just meant in general since we started doing this. I think you did get the first one. Okay, so we both have one upset pick.
Yeah, I got the first one.
I was gonna say this week would be a good time to get an upset pick.
Yeah,
that would be nice. All right. Well, we'll get into the picks here. I'm still just.
I had a cover. So.
You did have a cover. I forgot about that. Yeah.
First week I did Colts Jets. Colts won.
Yeah, and I forget what I ended up doing that.
So I don't remember. Use the notes app.
I got my notes in here, but was that the first one?
That was the very first.
The Colts?
Yep, Colts Jets.
Oh, yeah, it was. And I took the Raiders over the Dolphins, which fucking flopped. Anyway,
let's continue.
Picks this week. Last week, revisit these. We went 2-2-1. Not doing myself any favors in terms of the picks this year. Just really struggling more than anything. I will say that. Wins, we got Rams plus 4.5 against the Bills. They win outright. Chargers plus 4 against the Chiefs. They end up covering. That close game there was by 2. We pushed with the Packers plus 3 against the Lions. That late field goal there. And then lost Bears plus 4 against the Niners. Really thought there was a chance there. And then that unraveled in the first quarter. And Bucks ran away with it against the Raiders. So, still time. There's still time to get back to 500 here.
That 5-0
that would be nice.
It's out there.
That 5-0 week is still escaping us. Thank God my preseason picks are looking good right now because, Jesus Christ, these weekly picks are screwing me. So we're sitting at 28, 40, and 2 right now.
Yep.
Definitely need to do some work here. First one, again, was my favorite pick. Your upset pick of the week. Rams plus 3 against the Niners. You kind of said it there too, and I just never went back to it to take it as my upset pick. Rams still have a lot to play for. Niners trying to play that spoiler card at this point, but I just don't think they're good enough. Now on their 9th running back, it feels like at this point. Debo's getting loud. There's just a lot of weirdness going on with the Niners. So I like the Rams in this spot a lot. Next one I like, we already talked about, 2, Steelers plus 5.5 against the Eagles. We both like the Steelers this week outright. 5.5 is too much. Too much for the Steelers team. Pick'ems or no pick'ems, that is too many points.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even need to go in that much detail about that. Also, again, Tomlin is 65% or something like that against the spread when he's an underdog. It's all of that shit.
That was the other thing for the Steelers this week. Thank you. When they're the underdog this season, they're perfect.
Yeah, I believe that.
They have not lost this season as an underdog.
No, they're very good in that spot. The other one that I talked about, my upset pick, I like the Titans plus 5 against the Bengals. Again, even if they don't win outright, I think this is going to be a close game. I think that of all the teams, all the ways that the Bengals could die, the fact that they could go out against, Will Levis could officially end their season,
hilarious,
would just be chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for that. And then last 2 here, I really like the Broncos this week even at -4. It's an odd number, a weird number there, but Colts going to Denver.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yeah.
I think between playing in Denver and shitty weather, also Anthony Richardson just being a complete crapshoot, even though he's been better since he's come back after being benched, I like the Broncos in this win by a touchdown.
Yeah, this will be his first.
For sure. And then the last one, Jesus Christ, I wrote that down wrong, but I just gave myself a little bit of a stroke there. I got the Panthers -3 against the Cowboys.
Wow.
Panthers have been playing everybody tough. They have been dying for a win. And I think this is one that they get. And I think they kind of take care of business against the Cowboys.
Yeah. I mean, this is their first game they're favored in almost 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. So since 2022, I forget the exact date. So about 2 years now. Good for them. It's well deserved the way they've been playing. And the games they've been underdog, it's been close projection. So.
Right, and I think with the Cowboys' injuries, because they lost, what's his name? Overshown.
Yeah.
Last week, too.
Overshown. DeMarvin Overshown. Tore his knee up, all the way up. Every ligament in there.
That was ugly.
Yeah.
And outside of Micah, that's been, really the only saving grace on that defense. And as angry as Micah Parsons might be, it's not going to be a one-man job.
No, not at all.
So, those are my picks.
I like that pick.
5-0 week would really be nice here. We can get hot to end the season.
This is the first week where the majority of your picks. I
appreciate that.
I don't love the Cincy Tennessee pick, but the other 4 I like a lot. I think you might actually win some money this week.
It would be really nice. Again, I mean, we're doing well. The preseason picks are looking good. I will say that's been my saving grace here. So my week-to-week narratives have not been too hot. But outside of that, we're just waiting on. We're right now. What I did, I think 5 win totals, and 4 of them have now cashed.
Okay. What's the last team you're working on?
Waiting on the Saints right now. I got them under 7.5.
Oh, well,
they're sitting at 5 wins right now.
7.5. Yeah, there's no way they pick up 3 in the last 4.
I don't think so either. It's still possible. And then we got one of the other ones that I got open right now. Rams to win the division. That would hit big.
And Atlanta to win the division?
No, I didn't bet them to win the division. Didn't bet it.
Thank God.
Now, like I did bet Jacksonville to win the division. That's obviously dead.
Not happening.
But we are looking at my to make the playoff and to miss the playoffs. Those are still alive and well.
Well, you have the Bucks to miss. That's what it is.
It's Bucks, Dolphins, and Jets. That's the one that I'm waiting on. And then the to make the playoffs, Rams, Chargers, Bills.
Okay.
So
I mean, you're treading water. So
we are. Yeah. No, we're gonna break even to say the least here.
That's a positive there. All right. I got nothing for you guys. Fantasy playoffs start this week. I'm tapped out. I'm gonna be honest. You know at this point you know who to start. Pretty obvious names. Like start your stars. Don't overthink that one. And good luck. I did 3 out of 5 I made. I missed one by some other guy who shelled out his entire future to make the playoffs this year.
I should have been 3 out of 6, I think it was. And
what's
then
hilarious?
You fucked me up in the.
Yeah, I did. If I fucked you up in 2. If I don't trade him Sam Darnold last week for a first, I'm in the playoffs and he's not. It's just one of those things. Yeah, it's something you can't really foresee. So, yeah. But otherwise, guys, have a good weekend. Take care and stay safe out there. We're going to get out of here pretty quick today.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Deuces.